Boston Tea Party, People didn't respect that government. American Revolution was violation of British law in American colonies. Our nation, this so-called republic that was formed from rioting, looting, and armed criminal action. When laws of the land are unjust, you must fight unjust. You must fight against unjust laws. For-profit prison is new slavery. The tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. Thomas Jefferson. The government been wrong. Racially profiling. Yeah, 92% blacks are killed by blacks. Yet 86% of whites are killed by whites. Yet whites are not demonized as thugs. Whites have glorified Jesse James as a Robin Hood, yet he was a Confederate guerrilla fighter during the Civil War, and his motivation after the Civil War was to continue to try to resist the Union. In the 30s, whites glorified gangsters, yet people bitch about rappers rapping about how fucked up their life in the hood and saying that glorified thug life. One man hero is another man villain. One man freedom fighter is another man terrorist. For-profit prison is new slavery. I agree and have to say that this problem is not intrinsically racial. The tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. I would like to know who Jefferson would consider the patriot versus the tyrant in Ferguson. I watched a video yesterday of a man bemoaning the rioters burning private businesses and not government establishments. The Tea Party taxed tea. It was the tax that was under attack. What is under attack when one burns the Quick Trip that employs locals? The government been wrong. Racial profiling. Yeah, 92% blacks are killed by blacks, yet 86% of whites are killed by whites, yet whites are not demonized as thugs. I believe in equal death penalties for killers. The Constitution has a jury of peers process. The system is not the problem. Whites have glorified Jesse James as Robin Hood, yet he was a Confederate guerrilla fighter during the Civil War, and his motivation after the Civil War was to continue to try to resist the Union. Yada, 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 yada. Amen. Quit glorifying wickedness. Douglas. In the 30s, whites glorified the gangster, and people bitching about rappers rapping about all fucked up life in the hood and saying they glorify thug life. Amen. Quit glorifying wickedness. As I stated to Jeff, if certain people have a redress of grievances, there is the law and a way to handle it. If they despise the republic that they live in, then they can write a ratified letter of succession and defend it with a well-regulated militia. This is the Founding Fathers did with the King, and the South did with D.C. American Revolution, nor the Civil War, was hapless looting. To both disrupt commerce due to injustice. Cause of injustice is red herring. 3. Doesn't matter what you believe, and blacks on average have longer and tougher sentences. 4. Sorry, not going to happen. The colonists didn't do it peaceful. Hapless looting. Really? General Sherman never looted, never burned down plantations? Both English and revolutionary forces took goods from people by force. Irrelevant to what Jefferson would think, because one man's hero is the other man's villain. Fucking dumbass. Just another older white man fear of socialism. Toy, 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 arr, Wait, it's not my neighborhood burning, and it won't be. Write your congressman. Do you live with only whites? If not, citizens in your backyard. Hello, what to do? Nothing Republican Congress? Whoa. What your buddy that was arguing with Jeff failed to mention, those were Dixiecrats that later became the Republicans after Nixon's Southern white strategy to target them same racist Democrats that was pissed at LBJ for signing Civil Rights Act. That's why all them good old Southern slave states are red. Pre-60s Republicans was socially progressive. After 60s, socially conservative. My backyard is under threat. From whom? If you have blacks living there, they go through this racer shit. In other words, it could happen there too, because this isn't just a St. Louis issue, it's an issue with the nation. Racial profiling must be stopped. Why do you think 35 states stood in solidarity for Mike Brown? Oh, 35 of them. Oh, so my backyard is under threat from black people? How so? Nice straw man, I never said under threat from blacks. Not under threat of black people. Oops. Under threat from racial tension brought on by racial profiling. It was not just blacks protesting and looting, there was racial unity in looting and protesting. Could you please stop arguing with logical fallacies? Same way with LA riots in '92. So the threat of racial profiling is possible because there is blacks and whites in the same neighborhood. But I need not assume that my neighborhood, which neighbors on either side of me are black, is under any threat of destruction. Again, I do not assume that my neighbors will riot. Again, I do not assume that my neighbors will riot at injustice, but will address it by law. Thus, my neighborhood is not burning, and it won't be. I do not assume that black men solve everything with looting. You, on the other hand, seem to think they do prefer it over litigation. Please demonstrate the fallacies so I can learn from my mistakes. I'm not saying assume it, it's a possibility. My house wasn't harmed, yours won't. But riots could happen there because of racial profiling. The homes didn't get burnt, business did. I agree, looting doesn't solve shit. But people lash out when they hit a breaking point. Black men looting, crack your white, Hispanic, and Arabs was looting. I agree, people are problematic. Nice straw man, I never said under threat from blacks. Not under threat of black people, under threat from racial tension brought on by racial profiling. It was not just blacks protesting and looting, there was racial unity in looting and protesting. In bold, dare you strawmanning my claims to both disrupted commerce due to injustice. Cause of injustice is red herring. 3. Doesn't matter what you believe when blacks on average have longer and tougher sentences. 4. Not going to happen. The colonists didn't do it peacefully. Hapless looting. General Sherman never looted, never burned down plantations. Both English and Revolutionary forces took goods from people by force. Irrelevant what Jefferson would think because one man's hero is another man's villain. Fucking Dung-ass. In bold is your red herrings. I agree, people are problematic, mainly due to social injustices they face. A person can only take so much bullshit. The main reason why Christians was fucked with my role was because they wouldn't pay taxes. That's why the Emperor too came from. Romans hated when people would not pay taxes. The Gospel of Mark is an anonymous, persistent tradition which begins in the early 2nd century with Bishop Pippius, who scribes the tomb to Mark the Evangelist, accompanied the interpreter Apostle Peter. But most modern scholars not accept Pippius' claim. The book was probably written 66 CE during the era of persecution of the Romans and Christians in Rome. Uh-oh. Oh, poor devilish Douglas. So it's Mark.